Welcome to today's video. In this video, I'm going to share with you the best new construction communities in Tucson under 500,000. Let's jump in. Hey, I'm Rich, and if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about lifestyle, real estate, and new builds in Tucson, Arizona, and the surrounding areas, you've come to the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for me and tap the little bell for notifications so you can be the very first to learn all that you want to know. My family's lived in Tucson for over 200 years. It's the city that I know best and the city that I love the most. With 15 years of experience as both a real estate appraiser and a realtor, I get calls and texts every day from people making a move, and I love it. So whether you're moving today or a year from today, let's get connected. All my contact information is in the link below. Grab it. You can call, text, email, or schedule a free Zoom consult. I'm happy to be a resource and help you. All right, so let's jump in. New builds. This is an exciting topic. I have worked in the new builds for probably my entire career, 15 years. And there's something special about watching a house start from literally a vacant piece of land with nothing on it to a finished, completed house 6 months to 8 months later and handing the keys to someone to their very first house to fill with memories. So I'm pretty excited to jump into this topic. Just for a disclosure, these are not sponsored, they're not paid. All of these communities and builders that I'm about to mention, they're my own. This is my own list. This is if I was shopping for a new build with all of my experience in Tucson, knowing everything that I know, these would be the communities and locations that I would consider if I was in the price range looking for something under $500,000. So first up, let's jump into the map, and I'm going to take you over to a community called Westbridge at Silverbell. Now, this is west of Tucson, not too far. You can see University of Arizona, downtown Tucson located here, west of I-10, which is the main thoroughfare, main freeway that cuts through the city. Great area. You're right next to Silverbell Golf Course. Personally, as a local, having lived in Tucson my whole life, I love the west side. It's beautiful. One of my very favorite resorts is located over here, called the Star Pass Resort, located in this area out over here. Oh, wait, where am I real quick? No, sorry. It's over here off of Speedway. Beautiful golf course. I'm not much of a golfer, but if you are, they've got an incredible golf course out there. They've got a huge wraparound lazy river, 4 or 5 pools, some great restaurants out there, incredible views, mountain biking and hiking trails out there. So definitely a cool area west of I-10. If you're not familiar with it, now you got a little bit to consider. Westbridge at Silverbell. Let's take a peek. Now, this is a community that is being built by Mattamy Homes. Big national builder, actually started in Canada. Cool thing about Mattamy Homes is the name Mattamy is kind of weird. I would agree. It's actually named after the founders' son and daughter, Matt and Amy. So a lot of people don't know that. That's how Mattamy Homes got its origin, and I believe they started in Canada. So lots of Mattamy new builds in the US, and there's several of their sites in Tucson as well. Mattamy Homes, I think what makes Mattamy Homes a little bit different than some of the other builders that we look at are their styling. They have a little bit of a different styling, from their roof lines to some of the finishes and exterior finishes that they allow. A lot more stacked stone. They do a little bit more siding, which is not necessarily super common out here, but it adds a little bit of something. They do a little bit of a more of a modern roof line on a lot of their new builds as well, which is really cool. I appreciate that. Now, this community at Westbridge, you can see the price $397,000 to $589,000. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be your base prices. So at $397,000, that's most likely not going to include your lot premium, your upgrades, or any type of builder options. Definitely make sure you factor that in. Something to note, I made a video breaking down all of the costs of a new build. Go watch that video. I'll put a link to that video in the description so that it's easy to find, but that will break down exactly how to look at these costs from a new build perspective. But as you can see, this is the sales office here. Some kind of cool things about the Mattamy homes. It's very modern, very clean finishes. Here's a look at the community itself. Definitely a cool neighborhood to consider if you're looking under 500,000 and open to exploring several different areas of Tucson. All right, next up on our list, we're gonna be heading a little bit further north to a community called Colina de Anza Agave. So I'll show you, we were just at Westbridge over here. And if you like this little dashboard that I'm using here, you can't use it because it's only for realtors. No, I'm just kidding. But really, it is actually only for realtors. I wish there was a better way for consumers to see new builds that are offered. This database has about 90 to 95% of all of the new build sites. Some of the builders have opted out, but most of them are here. So I wish that there was something easy. I actually do have a website that this is going to be linked to, and you'll be able to search similar to how I'm searching here. So I'll definitely leave that in the description. That's probably the best tool if you are shopping for new builds to take a peek at, and that'll be something super helpful in your new build search. So we're going a little bit further north. Now, Cortero Farms Road and I-10. Here is Colina de Anza Agave. Now, this is a KB Homes community. KB Homes is a big national builder. I personally have sold quite a bit of KB Homes. Actually, all the builders that I'm mentioning, I've sold a lot of their homes. I know their contracts really well. I know their building processes very well. I know what they do well, what they don't do well. I would say KB Homes is a great option. Now, this particular location is really popular just because they've just built, within the last 5 or 10 years, they built the Tucson Premium Outlet Mall here. Great outdoor mall for shopping and dining there. This whole area is really blowing up. Continental Ranch is a big master plan community out just west of I-10. So this whole area has experienced a lot of change recently. I think ultimately with all of that new commercial development being pushed in and coming in there, we're likely going to continue to see demand for this area continue to surge, which I think the pricing that you're going to get today in this community could be very advantageous compared to what it's going to be in the next 3 to 5 years. So just a little inside scoop is in terms of pricing. I think this could be one of the best bang for your bucks under 500,000. Again, I'll click on this so we can take a look at pricing and just generally what's going on in the community. Go watch that cost breakdown video that I link in the description. But right now we're talking base pricing between $399,990 and $471,000. So you definitely could get out the door with everything, your lot premium, all of your upgrades and finishes for under 500,000. And you can see 3 bedrooms. They have between 3 bedroom and 5 bedroom, 2 to 3 bathrooms between about 1,600 square feet to 2,500 square feet. So some great options there. Here's kind of a look at what they're building. Very typical of what we're going to see in a new build community. Got some stacked stone, some nice pavers, landscaped. All of these homes are going to have front landscaping. So if you like this, then most of what I'm going to show you today, you will most likely appreciate. There's kind of an entrance into the community here. Keep in mind with a new build, the backyards are not landscaped from the builder. So something like this would be an added extra. And pro tip, almost always, whatever the landscaping package costs from the builder, I usually can save clients 30, 40, even 50% by having it done from a private contractor or a landscaper locally after the build is completed. So if you want some local landscapers to get some bids, DM me, we'll get connected, and I'm happy to share my network of great landscapers to help you. All right, next up is going to be a location called Vista Del Oro Reserve. Now, this is another KB Homes website or another KB Homes build. Again, just to preface, I'm not being paid by KB Homes. It just happens that KB Homes has another site that I think is one of the best locations under 500,000. And we're going to take a look at that right now. So this is in Northwest Tucson. Northwest Tucson, this whole area here has been year over year for the last 5 years has been the most in demand and demand growing the fastest. As a homeowner in this area, you're definitely experiencing more demand, which is resulting in more equity, faster appreciation, and to be honest with you, just more peace of mind. So if you're thinking long-term about a purchase of a new build, this is a great area to consider because most likely, and I have to talk in terms of likelihood, nobody has a crystal ball, so I can't guarantee it, but in the degree of likelihood, it's much more likely that areas in Northwest Tucson that I'm showing you here are going to have a more consistent appreciation over time because of the demand level that they've experienced historically, both short-term and long-term. So this is the location, Vista Del Oro Reserve. Again, another KB community. Let's take a look at this. I'll let you take a look at KB Homes builder reviews. Here's one caveat that I will say. You will always find, doesn't matter what builder, and I tell clients this all the time, doesn't matter what builder, you're gonna find bad reviews. I mean, it's just like buying something on Amazon. It can have 10,000 reviews, averaging 4.5 stars. If you wanna look at the bad reviews, they're there. In this case, what I always kind of hang my hat on is these are some of the big, most reputable national builders that there are. KB Homes is absolutely one of those builders. And they have a reputation to uphold. And I think in general, they're going to build a quality home. Have there been issues with some of their builds in the past? Yes, but the reality is it's very rare, especially given the situation and climate around new builds post-COVID. I think a lot of builders were really struggling to keep up with demand, and there were some things missed. So a lot of those reviews, if they were around that 2020, 2021 timeframe, keep in mind, if you see anything on any builder around that time, it kind of came with the territory because builders just kind of hung themselves out to dry. They were selling way too many homes. They couldn't keep up with demand. And because of that, they were putting a lot of pressure on their building contractors. And there were some things that were missed at times. But in general, KB Home, great option in terms of a local builder here in Tucson. And as you can see, this price, $371,000 to about $472,000, doesn't include lot premium, doesn't include the upgrades or builder upgrades. So take that into account. We've got 3 to 6 bedrooms, 2 to 3 baths, and about 1,300 square feet all the way up to about 2,700 square feet. So a really wide range in home at this particular location. Just generally walking you through some photos, nice entrance, kind of designating what neighborhood you're in. Here's a look at the exterior, sales office. Again, a lot of these new builds, similar style, especially with KB, they're going to build a similar styled home. Cool thing about this is Northwest Tucson butts up to Oro Valley. Now, Oro Valley Marketplace, one of the most popular shopping destinations and for restaurants and all that sort of stuff in Northwest Tucson. Oro Valley is a little bit further north. I'll show you on a map real quick where that is. So we're here, Vista Del Oro Reserve, and Oro Valley Marketplace is up here. So not too far of a drive, probably 10, maybe 15 minutes with traffic. So definitely Vista Del Oro Reserve, if you're looking for under that $500,000 mark and you're open to different areas, this is one to check out for sure. All right, next up, I'm gonna take you to a bit of a different area of town. This is called La Estancia, which is some cool, unique things about La Estancia. One of the things that I love is that it's located really, really close to I-10. Now, it's far enough away, you're not going to be bothered by a whole lot of freeway traffic. It's not like right on the freeway. You might get some road noise, but overall, it's not going to be too, at least in my opinion, it's not going to be too intrusive. And I have sold quite a few new builds in this area. And overall, I think people are super, super happy with their choice. So location-wise, very convenient for anyone who's commuting. One of the cool things about this location is it's located in Tucson, but it is right within the Vail School District, which is one of the top rated school districts in the entire state. A lot of the people that have families and kids going to school, they will choose the Vail School District because of that high rating. And that's a absolutely must have for them. So if you're talking about long-term value, if you have kids, could be a great option for you because of that. If you don't have kids, could be something to consider because long-term, that school district has a lot of draw and creates a lot of demand for prospective buyers. And that could be an opportunity for you to take advantage of that and kind of ride that wave of appreciation. So these homes were built by Meritage Homes. Again, big national builder. I've worked with Meritage many, many times. One of my favorite builders, and I'll tell you why. One of the things that they do unique is they use spray foam insulation on the entire exterior of their home, so including the roof. And that makes a huge difference, especially in Tucson and desert climates, because let's face it, you probably already know it gets hot in the summertime. And on top of that, we have a lot of dust because we got a lot of dirt that's exposed. So with that, the spray foam insulation drastically improves the insulation and ultimately how cool or how hot the interior of the home can stay. It saves you a ton of money on your yearly electric bill. We're talking thousands of dollars that you'll save over the course of the first couple years for sure. Depending on the size of the home, it could save you more than $1,000 a year just in your utility costs because of the spray foam insulation. And I can tell you from experience, my wife and I, having built a small little custom home back in 2021, we did a portion of the house with spray foam insulation. We did part of the house with normal batt insulation, which is very typical what all the other builders use. There's a significant difference between the area of the house that's spray foam and the area of the house that is not spray foam. And I do particularly remember that the spray foam area was about 4 times the cost just to do that area for that insulation. So it's much more expensive, but you really, really get the benefit of it long term. So it's cool that at this price, under $500,000, Meritage includes that. And the last thing about the spray foam is it seals your house tight, so you don't get as much dust in your home. You're not having to dust the interior of your home. That's something that's very common. If you're not from Tucson, you may not know that because dusting isn't really a thing. I've lived here my whole life and didn't really know that until I went elsewhere, and I was like, oh, do you guys have to dust how often? Dusting, like most people that don't live in the desert, don't have to dust. So that's just a thing for us locals that have lived in the desert a long time. We could become accustomed to that. So less dusting. This community is priced at $348,000 to $423,000. Now, base price, so you've got some add-ons on top of that, but you could easily get out with a nicely spec'd home, and you'd be well under $500,000. So you can take a look at how many bedroom. They've got 3 to 4 bedroom options, 2 to 3 bathroom options, and about 1,500 square feet all the way up to 2,700 square feet. So if you need a larger home, definitely an area to take a look at. And Meritage Homes is an incredible builder. You know, here's generally what their interiors are going to look like. Modern, clean. I know that white cabinetry is really, really pops for a lot of people. I appreciate that. Let me know in the comments, are you more of a white cabinet person or are you more of like an espresso dark cabinet person? It kind of depends on the house for me. I could go, some houses I think look incredible with white cabinets. And then there's other houses that I think that pop of darkness really kind of adds some drama in the kitchen. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. So here is a look at La Estancia. Homestead is the community built by Meritage Homes, and definitely another one to put on the list. All right, and last but not least, we're gonna head over still kind of east Tucson. So we were right here at La Estancia. I'm gonna move a little bit further east to a location called Saguaro Trails. Now this is a Mattamy Homes subdivision. Mattamy Homes is the builder. Again, I'm not paid by them. This is just happens to be that Mattamy has one of the best locations and sites under 500,000 for my own opinion. And we'll take a look at it here. This is a 2 to 4 bedroom options. 2 to 3 bathrooms, 1,500 to about 2,650 square feet. So they do have an option for those larger homes. Now, this community is this community, they've built several phases in this community. And the cool thing is that if you look on the map, if you like walking, biking, specifically mountain biking, there is a huge mountain biking park right here, Fantasy Island Mountain Bike Park. So a lot of those trails are perfectly suited for mountain biking, but they also work if you just like to get out, walk the dogs on a nature trail, you yourself like to get out and be active and walk around. This would be a great option just because of the location there. So again, at that price, $363,000 to $499,000, doesn't include lot premium, does not include your builder upgrade. So you certainly could spend more than $500,000, but some of their lower square footage homes, maybe 1,500 to 2,000, you could probably spec out pretty nice and be at or under that $500,000 mark. And make sure that you reach out to me if you are interested in starting your new construction journey, because I've got the inside scoop to save you as much money as possible, get you the best deal. I made a video about that, the 5 hacks to save thousands on a new build. Watch that. I'll leave that video link in the description as well, because if you are shopping for a new build, you definitely want to know some of the strategies that we use to get our new construction buyers, our new build buyers, the best deal possible. So taking a look at this is kind of the entry. They have their big sales office here. I've spent a lot of time in that sales office. And there's a look at their sales office. They've got these big picnic areas, jungle gym areas for the kids, lots of parks and picnic areas. It's nice because it has shade. So just a glimpse at what this area has to offer. Here's a glimpse at the park, some grass areas. Here's all of that biking path and walking path area that I was mentioning. Lots and lots of natural desert. So if you like the beauty of the desert, this could be a great community for you to explore. All right, so there you have it. Now you have the inside scoop on all of the best new construction communities under $500,000. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button to support myself and our channel. And be sure to subscribe for more. I'm going to continue to make more videos about new construction and new builds in the Tucson area and surrounding areas, so you're not going to want to miss that. As is tradition, I've got a little bit of inspiration to finish up with you here, and that goes in the form of a quote. Luck is just hard work residue. I saw that on the inside of a Snapple can one time, and I thought that was pretty cool. Luck is just hard work residue. So get out there, work hard, and you're bound to get lucky. Last thing to remember, whether you're moving in a day or a year, let's get connected. All my contact information is below in the description. Until next time, I hope to see you around the neighborhood.